Yeah, first game that fans were allowed into the Don Haskins Center, and maybe that's what the UTEP Miners needed as they put on their best offensive performance of the season, passing the century mark, 101-89 the final over the Rice Owls. An offensive barrage from UTEP, 22 points for Keontae Kennedy, 24 from Jamal Bienemy, 5 3-pointers for him, both collegiate career highs for the two, and a season high 29 points from Bryson Williams, just pouring it on all game long. Only 2 turnovers from the Miners here tonight, and they'll look to repeat somewhat of the same performance as they're back here again tomorrow night to host the Rice Owls. Once again, reporting for KFOX 14, I'm David Guest. Yeah, UTEP Miners fans can rejoice tonight. That 11-game losing streak has come to an end. The Miners getting into the winning column with a 24-14 victory over Stephen F. Austin. First career start from Gavin Hardison. He threw for 212 yards and a touchdown score. Deion Hankins, a pair of scores for him, 113 yards on the ground, 116 yards in the air for Jacob Cowing, and 21 unanswered points from the Miners after the second quarter. Now, this was capped off by a game-saving interception in the back of the end zone from Duran Lowe, and the Miners, again, 1-0 to start off 2020. Reporting for KFOX 14, CBS 4, I'm David Guest. Yeah, well, we learned tonight not to ever count out the UTEP Miners. With 14:43 left in the second half, they were down by 24 points. Well, a surge came alive, and they erased that deficit to come back and tie the game at 60 late in the second frame. They would need an additional frame to complete an 80-77 victory. A career high tonight for Bryson Williams, 34 points, 17 for Darrell Edwards. After the game, Bryson Williams said, this was just another game for him. Well, he'll have another game and another opponent that he's very familiar with on Saturday when these two meet again in San Antonio. The UTEP Miners improved to 11-7 on the season, 2-3 in conference. A much-needed win for this team as they continue conference play. Reporting for KFOX 14, I'm David Guest. Yeah, that's right, guys. Well, soccer playoffs, the first of its kind here in El Paso. The El Paso Locomotive in their inaugural season have advanced to the Western semifinals of the USL. They'll be taking on Sacramento Republic FC, a foe that they are familiar with in this house on June 9th. Locomotive successfully won 2-0. We're hoping for the same result. Now, Saturday night, incredible game against Reno FC. Locomotive making the comeback down 2-1, 2 goals in the final 20 minutes, and that's why we are here tonight. Locomotive get a playoff win here at Southwest University Park. They did it in the most dramatic way. They went 2 15-minute periods of extra time, and it came down to penalty kicks. They got there by the leg of Leandro Carrillo, who scored his 2 first career goals. Later on, Saeed Robinson was the one who put it in for the 3-2 win for the Locomotive, and they'll have another game back here at home next weekend against New Mexico United. Their winning streak rolls on. That's now 12 consecutive matches without a loss, dating back to August 1st. Let's keep this train rolling for the Locomotive. Reporting for KFOX 14, CBS 4, I'm David Guest. Welcome back, Southwest. I'm Dave Guest. Both UTEP basketball teams in action this weekend. The new normal for college basketball weekend, doubleheaders. Miners seeking to avenge yesterday's loss. Keontae Kennedy creates space and sinks a jumper to get points on the board. UTEP building an early lead. Jaron Pierre Jr. takes a screen and drops a 3-ball. Christian Sojlin from downtown. Sojlin connects, not 1, not 2. Oh boy, Sojlin left open his 3rd triple. Like your electric bill, he's automatic. Miners controlling the second half. 2-on-1. Bryson Williams coming straight through the paint and jams it home. Pivotal win for UTEP to improve to 4-3 on the year as they get their first win in Hattiesburg in over a decade. The women's team looking to sweep Southern Miss in their home opening series. Golden Eagles' Allie Kennedy with the bucket coming back in the second half.
Skip ahead to the fourth quarter. Isis Lopez locates Katia Gallegos. She hits for 3. Miners had not trailed in this game. Southern Miss trying to sneak in a win. Malaya Grayson with the putback to take the lead with under 3 minutes to play. This is where Gallegos shines the most. Game on the line, and she wants all of it. Cutting to the rim, layup no good, but Pruitt is there to clean it up, and the Miners tie it up again. Baker getting his girls together. Golden Eagles on the attack. Kelsey Jones sinks a jumper. Back and forth we go. Tied at 70, 2 minutes left. UTEP penetrates. Destiny Thurman left. Splash. The JUCO transfer from Arlington delivers to put the Miners ahead by 3 in the final minute. One last chance for Southern Miss. Kennedy looks for something down low. Grayson is called for the offensive foul. That's it. Miners survived the comeback and improved to 5-2 on the season. Gallegos led all scorers with 22 points. Former Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett back at AT&T for the first time in opponent's gear. His team pulling some trickery here. The fake. Sterling Shepard comes around for the toss. Blockers ahead of him, and he gets over the goal line to put the G-men up first. Later on, second quarter here, Daniel Jones drops back, finds Shepard wide open, heading for the pylon. He gets in for 6. More camera time for 87. First half coming to an end. Giants into Cowboys territory. Jones lets it fly. That's Dante Pettis going up for the grab, hauls it in and scores to put New York up by 2 possessions. Dallas at the goal line. Ezekiel Elliott powers through. Cowboys within a score. Final chance for Andy Dalton and the Cowboys. Dalton drops back, surveys, tucks in to avoid the sack here, scrambles and throws across his body, and it's picked off. And that closes the curtain on the 2020 season for the Cowboys, failing to make the playoffs as they drop to 6-10. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yes, I'm in the Christmas cheer, but college basketball is here. Welcome back. I'm David Guest with the best sports news in the Southwest. When two rivals meet, it is said that one can throw the records out the window because both teams are going to give each other their best shots. This was the case in last night's duel in the 9-1-5. What's up, sports fans? I'm David Guest, filling in for Sports Tonight, and what a night it's been already, as the entire landscape of the NBA has changed today.
I do have a match.
A familiar voice graced the Franklin High School wrestling team this Sunday.
Roll it!
James McLean, a 2-time Texas state champion, was back in purple and black.
1, 2, 3.
What it took to get here was nothing short of a miracle. On a cold night in El Paso, phone calls began to send chills.
My phone had been ringing and getting text messages so much that it vibrated itself off the dresser.
James was involved in an auto accident with several fellow classmates.
The initial report was that James had passed away in the auto accident.
For his loved ones,
It was unreal. It's a feeling that I wouldn't wish on anybody. The morning after the accident, we were supposed to be going to the airport so he could fly off to Air Force Academy on an official visit.
as word spread, help came flocking. High school students, faculty, and others from all over the city donated blood and began a fight to keep McLean alive.
We didn't know if James was going to make it.
Everything was so nerve-wracking. You just never knew. Every time you heard that beep, you're like, what's happening?
His mother never lost hope.
That was my head nurse. She was on top of everything, and I feel like without her, a lot of this wouldn't have been possible. She told me that my doctor was trying to pull the plug, and no, he's gonna come back, he's gonna come back.
And James never stopped fighting. The tragedy would cut McLean's senior year short, and it seemed he'd never return as a Franklin Cougar.
Wrestling gave him some more motivation. It gave him drive to fight through the hard times. We started talking and we did some research and found out that there may be a way he could wrestle another year.
Very little time was wasted once he was cleared to return to the mat room.
We would just work lightly, whatever he could. And I knew the first day he was going to be back.
In his first competition since the accident. Knowing the adversity he's faced makes those around him ever more grateful. For his mother.
It's good to see. It warms my heart.
For those who were unsure.
Once again, he proved us wrong.
For his teammates.
His presence alone motivates and inspires these boys.
One, two, three.
For James.
Ready to get back to me, get back to 100%.
Moving forward, having support from his #1 fan is one thing he can count on.
Everything he's going through, we go through as a family. I'm with him.
We would actually walk to the games, me and my dad would, both football and basketball. I remember when they would have the WAC tournament here, my parents actually let me skip first grade that week and just come hang out in the arena and watch games all day. I was so bought into the program, and it's so awesome having a Division I program here in Las Cruces. I think any kid growing up in Las Cruces kind of wants to eventually put on the crimson and white jersey.
The Cowboys are 6-6 and the Colts are 6.
Yeah, because you're in a terrible division.
Okay, and you're not?
No. Texans, Titans, Colts.
Arguments like these can be expected in a household of competitors. But these two were once teammates at Centennial High School.
I remember that day that he transferred, I texted my dad, like, hey, that Tennessee kid, he's here at school today.
It was like an instant connection.
When college came calling, they were separated again. Tennessee would go on to play basketball at Alabama Huntsville.
Really the only form of contact we had was playing Fortnite. He called me one night and told me he was going to be on the team here.
The two united in 2018 at the university. Tennessee served 1 year as a redshirt. Shortly after Tennessee's arrival, another Aggie fan joined the coaching staff.
Never in my wildest dreams did A, I think he would be an Aggie, and B, me too again.
Fast forward to 2019. Tennessee was cleared to play, and Bryce got a new opportunity.
He was brought on as a manager. We kind of talked him into it.
It kind of took a turn where I didn't expect it to.
With only a week before the season opener, Bryce began practicing with the team.
We were down to 8 guys at times, and so we threw him in there. He did well, played fearless.
He was added to the roster.
Game day, I got my results back from one of my physicals, and I went and turned it into the athletic trainer, and they said, all right, you're good to go. Next thing you know, I'm out on the court. I've probably gone back and rewatched it 20 times.
Everybody's an Aggie, and to watch these two kids get to trot out there wearing the crimson and white is pretty neat.
Though they won't be getting minutes in crunch time,
They're a big part of what we do.
so it's true.
You never know where the orange ball could take you.